Cruise news time, and are you ready for pre-cruise testing to go away? Well, it may be happening sooner than you think. Cruise news. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Lido, Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news updates. Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy April the 10th, 2022. And here I am, back at Lido, Loca headquarters. I've completed my journey on the Norwegian Dawn. What a wonderful week on a small cruise ship. It was fan-freaking-tastic. I tell you what, I wish the lovely Jenny B would have been able to be there with me for the whole week. It would have been even more amazing. But excitingly, I got off the cruise ship this morning at about 7:20, and I was at my house at 9:10. The process was so easy to get off and to get picked up. I wish more cruise ships sailed out of Tampa, but I tell you what, I might try to hit them all. We might have to get on another Tampa sailing because it was so easy. It was very cool. Two big cruise news stories. First, let me tell you about the cruise ship that was partially built in the United States. It has American crew and American flag. We're talking about a big cruise ship, and it's in one of the big three cruise lines, Norwegian's Pride of America. It's really the only big major cruise ship that operates in the U.S. that has those attributes. U.S. flagged, U.S. crew, and built in the USA. Okay, it was partially built in the USA, but it got an exemption. We just don't really build cruise ships in the USA, but those things have to be in place so that cruise lines can be exempt from a couple laws. The Jones Act. The Jones Act deals with cargo primarily, and then the Passenger Vessel Services Act deals with passengers. And so for most cruise ships, they can't just go from one U.S. cruise port to another cruise port, or even to the same U.S. cruise port, without having a stop in a foreign land on their itinerary, or they're going to be in violation of the Passenger Vessel Services Act primarily, and the Jones Act secondarily. And so it makes it challenging for a U.S. state that is made up of islands surrounded by water, which I think most islands are. And we're talking about Hawaii, right? So the Pride of America, their itinerary is an inter-island itinerary where they just go from one Hawaiian port to another. They get off the ship and they go, Hawaii. And that's all they do. They don't go to a foreign land. And so if you did not have the Pride of America, you would not be able to do that itinerary. And we do have the Pride of America. And what I'm trying to say is that the Pride of America, well, she's back, baby. It's been, it's been a long time. It's been since the cruise shut down in March of 2020, and now the Pride of America just returned to service. I believe it was Saturday, beginning its 7-day cruises around the Hawaiian Islands. I know that was a lot of extra context, but some people hear this inter-island Hawaii only stop, and they're like, I didn't think cruise ships could do that. Well, there's one that can, and now there's one that's doing it, the Pride of America. How about that? Congratulations, NCL. Congratulations, Hawaii, for a return to tourism. They're only able to sail at a 50% capacity. That was an agreement that was arrived at between Hawaii and NCL. And but yeah, here we go. It's another place that has cruising again. There has been other cruise ships that have been to Hawaii, but none that have been doing this inter-island itinerary. So how about that? Now, cruise news story number 2 is a doozy, and I tell you what, I haven't heard anybody in the industry talking about ending pre-cruise testing until last week at the big conference, the big Cruise 360 conference, where all of the industry leaders gathered together to talk about stuff. And there's a conversation that came out from some high-level cruise leaders that there's a big nugget as to when pre-cruise testing may end. I'm going to tell you all about it, but first, let me quickly invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything that's going on in cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of the episodes. And the reason I pause there is like, what's the value proposition? Why would you subscribe? Well, the reason you would do it is so that you could be notified when the new shows come out, so that you could be some of the first people to get the hottest, latest breaking cruise news. And look, I'm committed. I'm doing it daily. We've been doing daily videos for the last couple years, and so my commitment to you guys is to let you know what's going on on in cruising on the daily, and you could help us and support us in that effort just by hitting the subscribe button with the notification bell. Thank you in advance. I'm running on no sleep. I ran around like a crazy person trying to get footage of the NCL Dawn yesterday so that I could show you some more of the NCL Dawn. Then I stayed up late into the night, went to the shows, stayed at the casino, got up early. I didn't pack until 5:15 this morning. I'm whooped, y'all. I'm whooped. But anyways, I was glad to come home to this research. There's a great article over on Travel Pulse that chronicles this panel session that happened during Cruise 360. It was like the president's panel session. 4 major players in the cruise industry getting together on a stage talking about the future of cruising. Let me tell you who the hitters were. This thing was moderated by Michelle Fee, who is the CEO and founder of Cruise Planners, and then the participants was Ruben Rodriguez, the president of MSC Cruises USA, Harry Summer, president and CEO of Norwegian Cruise Line, John Pageant, the president of Princess Cruises and chief experience officer of Carnival Corporation, and Michael Bailey, president and CEO of Royal Caribbean International. The Travel Pulse covers a lot of stuff that they talked about. They talk a little bit about vaccines. They talk a little bit about the relationship with the CDC, how it went from a non-relationship to a working relationship, and how they're working together for the next kind of phases of cruising. And then it gets to something interesting. I mean, it's all kind of interesting, but it's a little nerdy interesting, not as much like, pizza interesting. Is that, I don't know. I think you know what I'm talking about. It gets to the point where the question comes up, what about pre-cruise testing? And Michael Bailey, the CEO of Royal Caribbean International, this is what he says. Quoting Michael Bailey, he says, "I think from everything that we've learned about the CDC, who tend to guide a lot of this, is that when they really believe that it's moving from pandemic to endemic, when they really believe that the positivity rates have declined to such a degree that it really poses no risk, I think that's when we're going to start seeing the government and governments start removing these testing requirements. I think we're going to see that probably by," dramatic pause, and head roll, "summer. Summer lovin', it happened so fast. Summer loving, no testing or mask." Wouldn't it be great if we made it, to the summer and COVID is in such a situation where it's normalized, where it's endemic, and where we don't have to pre-cruise test anymore? That, I think possibly, when I got off today, I had to wear a mask in the terminal. We talked about that last week, about if you're cruising right now, you still have to mask up at the embarkation and the disembarkation terminal. That may go away this month, April the 18th. That's when they review that again. But could you imagine if we made it to, what is summer officially? Isn't that in June? Hey Siri, what is the official first day of summer?
Here's an answer from calendarupdates.com. In the United States and the rest of the Northern Hemisphere, the first day of the summer season is the day of the year when the sun is farthest north, on June 20th or 21st. This day is
June 20th or 21st, the summer solstice. Michael Bailey didn't give an exact date. So is it June? Is it July? Is it August? I don't know. This is kind of exciting because, again, I haven't heard anything from anybody in a real public way. And so to see this public panel get together and talk about the future of cruising and talk about possibly the end of the pre-cruise testing by summer, that's big. That's exciting. That's big and that's exciting. And look, I know there's a contingency of you out there that are like, this is too soon, this is too fast, COVID is still prevalent in society. That is true. But again, at the same time, I would just encourage you to realize that we're moving to a place where COVID is going to be a part of our everyday lives. Do the things that you can do to keep yourself safe. Make sure you're vaccinated. Make sure you get the booster. All of those things. And, avoid the risk that you don't want to take. If you don't feel comfortable cruising right now, don't force yourself to go cruising right now. Because if you jump into a scenario where you're like, I'm on a ship and now I'm worried and I'm going to be freaked out, you're gonna mess yourself up. And so, again, We got to play inside the rules that are set in front of us. So whatever the protocols are right now, those are the protocols. So if you're an anti-protocol person and you don't want to deal with those protocols, don't go cruising. And if you're somebody that's worried right now and you don't think the protocols are robust enough, then it might not be time to go cruising. But what we're finding is there's a large swath of people that are comfortable with the level of protocols and they're ready to go cruising. And so this is encouraging news that the cruise industry continues to go forward. Everybody fits in that spectrum somewhere, and we all have that ability to make those choices for ourselves. And it's nice that the cruise industry now continues to have an opportunity to do business. That's all I'm saying. How about that? How about that? I didn't think that we would see, honestly, I didn't think that we would see pre-cruise testing go away this year. I don't think vaccines are going to go away this year. Not really a peep out of that. I mean, go read that article. They do talk about vaccines, and basically they say pretty loud. I can't remember which one of the presidents. They say pretty loud. Testing and vaccines are basically why we're able to cruise right now. And so there is a huge dependency on that vaccine requirement, for the current state of cruising. So I would be surprised if that goes away this year, but who knows? Like I said, I didn't hear anything about testing. So if I hear anything, I will let you know. Boom, that is your cruise news. What do you think about this? Are you out there not cruising right now because of pre-cruise testing? Are you not cruising because of vaccine requirements? What do you think about these latest developments? Is it too much too soon? Leave a comment below. And how about the Pride of America? How about that? Thanks so much for checking out the show today. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it myself. You can show that you enjoyed it by hitting the like button, and unfortunately, if you do not hit the like button, well, then I'm going to send a plague of locusts on you. Now, I don't have the ability to send the plague of locusts, but what I will do is I will make, for some weird reason, a whole colony of grasshoppers start growing up inside your front door. Like, how did they get in the front door? It's disturbing. This could happen to you because it's happening right now to me. That's your punishment. Hit the like button. This is Tony for Lido, Loca, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.